Hey, welcome to Practical Spring Security course. And let's look at the course roadmap. This course is divided into 5 sections. In section 1, we will explain Spring Security architecture, username and password authentication, and security concepts such as OAuth2 protocol, JWT, and SAML. In section 2, we will briefly mention about Spring MVC and then secure a Spring MVC application by using username and password authentication and method security expressions for authorization. In section 3, we will secure REST endpoints using OAuth 2.0 protocol. We will first mention about the latest changes on OAuth 2 with Spring Security and then implement authorization server and resource server. In section 4, we will explain the details about JWT, describe token validation approaches such as symmetric and asymmetric key pairs, modify the existing resource server that we created at section 4, and add token validation. And after that, we will add informative error handling. We will also learn how to create an application integration and authorization server in Okta. Lastly, in section 5, we will explain why Spring Web Flux was created and the OAuth 2.0 roles in reactive Spring Security. We will convert our servlet applications to reactive ones. For that reason, we will implement reactive web client application that communicates with authorization and resource server on behalf of the user. Then we will implement a reactive resource server, which makes use of reactive APIs and has protected resources to be consumed by reactive web clients. Let's look at the prerequisites. As for software requirements, you can work on Windows or Linux machine to run the applications. However, we used Windows 10 machine for this course. I recommend you to use IntelliJ, but it's not mandatory. You can use other IDEs such as Eclipse. Also, JDK version must be at least Java 11. In order to understand the code samples, you should have knowledge on Java 8 or higher versions, because we will mostly use functional programming paradigm throughout the course. You need to understand the basic Spring Boot application, such as creating applications with Spring Initializer, and knowledge of Spring annotations, such as configuration, controller, service, etc. You should also be comfortable with compiling, running, and debugging Spring Boot application, preferably with Maven tool. Lastly, a knowledge about Git will be helpful for you to clone the project repositories from GitHub and switch between the commits. I think that's all we need, so let's get started.